What up, YouTube? It's your guy, Wade, on my show, Let's Talk, where we talk about Warhammer 40k. Let's talk Tyranids. So, I'm making this really big playlist with basically everything that's in the Codex, my thoughts, my ideas, what I like, what I don't like. Go ahead and check it out. um, there's a link to it at the end, you know. Anyways, um, Tyranid warriors with ranged bioweapons. I don't like Tyranid warriors. Tyranid warriors have been in a bad spot for a long time. They had a sweet spot right at the end of ninth when bone swords became amazing, and then 10th came out, and here we are. So you now have Tyranids with ranged weapons and Tyranids with melee weapons, and they're different units with different abilities, and neither the twain shall meet. Let's talk about it. So, movement 6, not great. It's hard for them to get anywhere and do anything. It's good that they are infantry, so they can move through terrain like ruins, for example, which you see a lot, particularly in the RTT format. Um, Tough 5. Man, that sounds good. It's not. You're gonna get shredded. Be prepared. Um, Save 4 plus, not good. You know, you can knock it down to 3 plus with some cover, but then there's probably going to be some AP on top of that. So 4 or 5 is what you're going to be dealing with. And what I always say is if you are counting on a 5 plus, you're in bad shape. 3 wounds. That's kind of the only thing that gives them any sort of staying power. I am not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan. I don't like Tyranid warriors. That's just the way that it is. Objective Control 2, I think that's a world in which they kind of shine. You know, so the base is a prime and 2 warriors. You know, so you're talking about 3 guys. That's Objective Control 6. That's more than a 5-man squad. So maybe. Um, there's a lot of weapon options here. Okay, so you can give them all spine fists. Yeah, maybe. Assault is good, so they could move and advance and shoot. Yeah, maybe. But the number of attacks is not good. The ballistic skill is not great. The strength is terrible. The AP is terrible, and the damage is terrible. So I really can't say spine fists. Um, Here's what I'm gonna do. Death Spitters. Take all of them with Death Spitters. Okay? Because for every 3 models, you could have a Barb Strangler. And, you know, a Barb Strangler, it's going to have a decent amount of shots. But it's only strength 6, 1 AP, 1 damage. The Venom Cannon. Don't put the Venom Cannon on him. Put the Venom Cannon on your Hive Tyrant, is my opinion. That's what I do. I put the Venom Cannon on my Hive Tyrant. Maybe you're rocking some Carnifexes. Throw the Venom Cannons on your Carnifexes that Old One Eye is wearing as a suit of armor. You know, army-wide, we really struggle with anti-vehicle. So I can see a world where Venom Cannons are a thing because you're praying that you can wound. Strength 9 is not enough to wound most vehicles. They're 11s and 12s. Um, so we got an uphill battle. There are better guns. Exocrines, Tyrannofexes with rupture cannons. Sure, rupture cannons are very swingy, but when it works, it gets the job done. Zonothropes, there are better guns. So that's why I'm saying I don't like warriors with ranged weapons, and I would not put 1 venom cannon in there. I did it once, played with it, and what it wound up doing is it made the warriors basically have to stand still every turn to shoot, and it's just because I couldn't get good shots and couldn't line stuff up, and it was a hindrance. Having ranged attack warriors was a hindrance. If I had to, if I was forced to take them, I would do them all with Death Spitters. 24 range is good. 3 shots is good. Ballistic skill 4, it's 4 across the board, which is not great. Use them as anti-infantry. So it's wounding Marines on a 3, which is good. AP 1, hey, AP 1. And they all have it. So you're talking about 9 shots with the standard squad. You know, you're going to get 4 hits out of that, maybe 2 wounds, and then 1 goes through. So you're going to do 1 damage. It's pretty bad all the way around. I know my math hammer was very sloppy, but it's pretty bad. If you run that math hammer through, you're going to take 1 wound off of 1 Marine, and then they're going to shoot you back and probably kill 1 warrior and wound another one. It's just the economy's not good on it. Now they do have melee attacks. They have 5 attacks apiece, which is pretty good. Weapon skill 3, which is pretty good. Strength 5, which is pretty good, and AP 1 for 1 damage. So that's not bad, you know. And for how not bad that is, I could see a world where you put all of them with spine fists just so they can participate in the shooting phase while they're in melee combat. Man, mind blown right there. Spine fists are not great, but they are shooting the enemy in melee combat. They're melee combating, and the melee's not bad. So I can see a world with spine fists as well. So over with faction abilities, Shadow on the Warp, if they're on the table, you can drop the Shadow on the Warp, which is cool. You're pretty much going to have a Hive Tyrant or a Swarm Lord or whatever anyways that can do that, but whatever. Synapse, when you see Synapse here in the abilities category up top, that means they benefit from Synapse, which means Leadership 7, and getting a 7 on 3d6 is, I've super rarely ever failed it. Adaptable Predators, this unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. That's useful. So once again, Spine Fists, hey, Death Spitters. Fall back, shoot them with Death Spitters, charge them. Fall back 1 inch and shoot them with Death Spitters and charge them. It's not bad. It's good. It's a good strategy. It comes with a Prime, which is now a Sergeant model, and 2 regular warriors. You can bump it up to a Prime and 5. I don't know why you would, because there's better money for better things. Looking down at the bottom where the keywords are, infantry, so you can move through walls and buildings, which is great. Synapse. So when you see Synapse down here at the bottom, that means they give Synapse. So they are creating the 6-inch Synapse bubble. I'm doing all these videos as if Invasion Fleet, which is my preferred detachment. If you watched any of my videos, you know I think that Invasion Fleet has the best tools and the most tools to create wins for us. So I'm usually hyper adapting into Swarming Instincts. So Swarming Instincts is giving you sustained hits on everything. Okay, so with your Death Spitter shots, your 9 Death Spitter shots, odds are you're probably going to roll at least 1/6. So you got some more hits there. With your 15 melee attacks that are not bad. Strength 5, you're wounding Marines on 3s. Out of 15 shots, you're probably going to hit 8 times. It's probably going to be 9 or 10 because of the 6s that you might roll for sustained hits. Man, the ranged warriors are better at melee, and that's crazy. And I'm just discovering that reading this to you. Which is kind of crazy. It's like the Death Spitters are an afterthought for me. Or even the Spine Fists. It's like they're an afterthought for me. I guess the strategy world that I can see for this is like a group of them on an objective. And if somebody comes up, they charge that person and hold them there. Like they speed bump them. So yeah, maybe use them as speed bumps. I wouldn't use rapid regen on them. I would take them to die. I would save rapid regen for something like a... Well, you can't use that on a Northern Emissary because he's already got better. But I would use my rapid regen on my Tyrant or something like that, my Tyrant Guard, to keep him alive. It might be a good use of the Adrenaline Surge so that the proccing lethal hits procs on a 5. That might be a good use. But Adrenaline Surge is so expensive. Maybe if you've got a Swarm Lord. I don't know. I don't like Tyranid Warriors with ranged weapons or melee weapons. I don't use them. But I could see a world. Like if I played a 4,000 point game, I got a bunch of them. Anyways, we here at the Dragon's Lair understand you can spend your time anywhere on the internet. Thank you for spending your time with us at the Dragon's Lair.